Under the radiant sun of Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso's capital, the city awoke in a warm, golden glow. Red dirt roads buzzed with the hum of motorbikes, street vendors' calls, and the aroma of freshly baked bread. At the heart of the city stood the Azalai Hotel, a beacon of luxury with its gleaming marble lobby and navy-uniformed staff darting about, serving espresso and arranging airport transfers for business tycoons, diplomats, and VIPs. That morning, Ibrahim Traoré, President of Burkina Faso, stepped into the lobby. Dressed in a simple white shirt, dark trousers, and polished leather shoes, he blended in like an ordinary citizen. No bodyguards, no entourage. Just him, carrying the weight of a nation quietly. He had just wrapped up a meeting with international investors about education, a passion project to build schools for rural children. He stopped by the Azalai to meet an advisor before heading back to the presidential palace, eager to observe the pulse of his country through the lens of an international hotel. At the reception desk, a black woman named Aïssata Diallo stood, her face etched with worry. A freelance journalist from Burkina Faso, she had just returned from a media conference in Paris. In her elegant business dress, hair neatly braided, she was trying to explain to a receptionist that her pre-booked, prepaid hotel room had been canceled without reason. Her voice trembled. "I booked this room 2 weeks ago. How can you say it's not available?" The young male receptionist fumbled with his computer, his tone dismissive. "I'm sorry, ma'am, there must be a mix-up. The system shows no record of your booking." The trouble stemmed from another figure in the lobby, Madame Claire Dubois, a French event planner known for lavish galas for the elite. Draped in a Chanel dress and Louboutin heels, she stood near the desk, barking into her phone with an air of authority. She had demanded the hotel cancel some unimportant person's room to accommodate a VIP in her entourage, a European pop star. Under pressure from Dubois and the hotel manager, the staff had canceled Aïssata's reservation without notice, assuming a local freelance journalist couldn't compare to a wealthy European client. Aïssata, sensing the injustice, raised her voice. "This is discrimination. I have the confirmation email. You can't just cancel my room." Dubois, overhearing the commotion, turned with a sneer, sizing Aïssata up. Hanging up her call, she strode to the desk and snapped in French. "Why is this still an issue? I told you I need that room for my client. Who is this woman causing a scene?" Aïssata, fluent in French, fired back. "I'm a legitimate guest and I have every right to my room." Dubois smirked. "Know your place. This is an international hotel, not a market stall for troublemakers." The lobby fell silent. Nearby guests paused their conversations, eyes darting toward the confrontation. Traoré, standing a few steps away, sipped his coffee, watching with a sharp gaze. He recognized the injustice immediately, but held back, curious to see how the situation would unfold. The receptionist, caught in Dubois's glare, called for the manager, a Burkinabe man named Moussa. Moussa arrived, glancing nervously between Aïssata and Dubois. "Ms. Diallo will look into this, but the hotel is fully booked." Aïssata cut him off. "Look into it? You canceled my room for someone else and now tell me to leave? This is my country." Dubois, unfazed, stepped closer to Aïssata, her voice dripping with sarcasm. "Your country? Do you think that matters here? I organize events for global influencers. And you? Who are you? Some small-time reporter? Be smart and leave before you waste more of my time." Her words, steeped in prejudice, thickened the air. Hotel staff lowered their eyes, afraid to intervene. A Burkinabe guest in the corner shook her head, whispering to her companion, "She has no idea who she's insulting." Aïssata, trembling with anger but holding her composure, pulled out her phone and showed Moussa her booking confirmation. "Here's proof. I paid 300,000 CFA for this room. If you don't fix this, I'll post about it online and contact the press." Dubois laughed. "The press? You think anyone will care about someone like you? I can have you thrown out in 5 minutes." Moussa, sweating, tried to mediate. "Madame Dubois, Ms. Diallo, we'll find a solution." But Dubois snapped, No solutions. I want her gone! Traoré stepped forward, setting his coffee down. His voice was calm but commanding. What's going on here? All eyes turned to him. Musa recognized Traoré instantly, his face paling as he stammered, Sir! Sir! Traoré raised a hand to silence him, looking at Aïssata. Tell me what happened. Aïssata, unaware of his identity but sensing his sincerity, recounted everything: the booking, the payment, the cancellation, and Dubois's insults. Traoré nodded, then turned to Dubois. You said she has no value here. What makes you say that? Dubois, oblivious to who he was, scoffed. Who are you to interfere? I'm a VIP and I don't answer to locals. Traoré smiled faintly. Locals? I think you're mistaken. But go on. I'd like to hear more. Dubois, emboldened by her sense of superiority, continued. In places like this, money and status rule. People like her don't belong, and you don't waste my time. The tension peaked as Dubois called for security, demanding both of them be removed. But before the guards could act, the lobby doors swung open. A convoy of black SUVs and an armored vehicle screeched to a halt outside. Presidential guards in crisp uniforms marched in, forming two neat rows. A tall officer in a black beret approached Traoré, saluting sharply. Mr. President, we're here to escort you. The Minister of Education awaits at the palace. The lobby froze. Dubois' Chanel bag slipped from her hand, clattering to the floor. Musa exhaled in relief, while Aïssata's eyes widened, whispering, The President? The Burkinabe guest in the corner burst out laughing. That's President Ibrahim Traoré. She just insulted him and that woman. Laughter rippled through the crowd, shattering the tension. Dubois, ashen-faced, stammered, President, I didn't know. I'm so sorry, sir. Traoré ignored her, turning to Aïssata. Ms. Diallo, your room will be reinstated immediately. No one will treat you like this in this country. He looked at Musa. Make it happen. Musa scrambled, ordering the staff to restore Aïssata's booking. Within minutes, her room was secured, along with an official apology from the hotel. Traoré faced Dubois, his gaze piercing. You said money and status decide everything. In Burkina Faso, we believe dignity and justice come first. You insulted a citizen of this nation, and that's unacceptable. He nodded to the officer. Take her to the police station for questioning on discrimination charges. Dubois, panicked, pleaded, I didn't mean it. I was just helping my client. The officer replied coldly, Explain it to the authorities. She was led to a car, her head bowed, her arrogance crumbled. Traoré walked out, climbing into his vehicle as the crowd outside cheered. The news spread like wildfire. A guest's covert video of the incident hit X, racking up tens of millions of views in hours. Hashtags like Justice for Aïssata and Burkina Dignity trended worldwide. Burkinabe citizens shared the story with pride, hailing Traoré's humility and commitment to justice. Journalists across Africa wrote about the incident, spotlighting the fight against discrimination. Dubois was detained for questioning, facing charges under Burkina Faso's penal code, Article 361 for insulting honor and Article 364 for discriminatory behavior, carrying penalties of up to 3 years in prison or fines. Her event company lost its contract with the Azalai, and her reputation in Europe took a hit. The hotel implemented new policies, mandating staff training on equality and anti-discrimination, and compensated Aïssata with a week's free stay. Aïssata published a viral article in an international outlet, detailing her experience and praising Traoré's intervention. Her piece drew attention to his education initiatives, particularly the goal of building 500 rural schools by 2030. According to UNESCO, such investments could boost per capita GDP in developing nations by 10% over a decade, and Burkina Faso was on track. In a later speech, Traoré declared, In Burkina Faso, we tolerate no injustice, no matter the victim. Every citizen deserves respect, and we will defend their dignity. The incident became a global symbol of justice and equality, inspiring millions. The lesson was clear. Don't let prejudice blind you to fairness. A person's worth isn't measured by skin color, job, or status, but by their dignity. This story reminds us that respect and justice are the bedrock of a civilized society, and we all have a duty to confront unfairness, no matter the setting. So what drives people to prejudge others like Dubois did? Have you ever faced or witnessed similar injustice? And how did you respond? Share your thoughts, like, and follow for more inspiring stories. Let's spread the message of justice and dignity together.